these things come and go, so I don't know which part.
And you tell me something, it was going to be, something we have to fight about.
Guys, love must not come and go, hey?
Love is it's difficult sometimes.
I think the luck comes with the kind of person that you actually find versus the finding love altogether.
Now you need to change your bad habits because you love this person. Hello, everyone. This is Dihle here. Welcome to Thought-Provoking Conversations with SYT Academy. So today we are going to be talking about a topic. I think we've touched on it before. No, I don't think we've touched on this topic before. We've spoken about relationships, spoken about a whole lot of things, but we've never really spoken about love. And that's not the topic per se, but the topic is finding love after losing it. I have two incredible people who are going to be sharing their experiences on how they've found love, lost it, and then lost it, and then found it again, right? I myself, I am going to benefit quite a bit from this conversation because I've lost love, haven't found it yet. And so maybe they'll give me some pointers in terms of how to maneuver to a point where I actually find love. Okay, I'm going to ask our panelists to please switch on your cameras, introduce yourselves, and then we'll start with the conversation. I'm excited to have you guys here. Polani is returning. Hlengiwe is also returning. So these should be familiar faces if you watch our lives, or rather our videos. Okay. Who should we start with? Ladies first. Hlengiwe, what's your name? Where are you from? What do you do? And why are you here? You know?
Hi guys. My name is Hlengiwe Kuzayo. I'm from the East Rand. I'm 34. I'm looking for employment right now. So I'm just and I'm here because I have found love, lost it, and I found it again, and I'm happy.
I think the reason why I haven't found love is because where they find it, they lose it, they find it, they keep finding. That's why we are not finding.
I don't think so.
Okay, Polani.
Hi everybody. My name is Polani Madondo. I'm a return soldier on the platform. And today we are talking about love. And before I go about love, I am from KZN, Mzinyati. I have just turned 32. I do feel old. The bones are feeling old. So that is something that I'm trying to get into grips with. But yeah, I'm here because I'm gonna share just a bit of my experience in the journey of losing, finding, and finding. Hopefully not losing love.
Hopefully. Okay.
After this.
Yeah. The reason why I'm saying about you is the reason why they're taking all the luck, guys. Just leave some luck for us.
I was going to say,
hey, leave some luck, guys. Maybe you guys are going to the right places and you are taking all the luck. By the time we get there, the luck is gone.
I don't think so.
I wanted to say,
okay.
Why don't you take the love that Hlengiwe leaves to move on to the next one? Then you can get that one.
No. I don't think, no. I'm talking about the luck of finding love. That's what I'm saying. That they take all the luck. So for them, it's like, even if they lose, they will find, It's not about the person particularly.
Okay.
Yeah, not about the person. Yeah. The luck. It's like those people that will say, I've been married 3 times. Hey, bro, we are still trying to get in. Where are you getting the other 2 times?
Well, Lisa, do you believe that finding love has to do with luck? Do you believe that
I actually don't. I don't believe it has to do with luck. I believe it has to do with being brave, right? Because as we spoke before the platform started, that you know, it's messy, it hurts. And I think people who thrive in love are people who have made, I don't know, made peace with the fact that it's going to be ugly, it's going to be messy, also it's going to be beautiful, but will stay through and through, you know? So let me ask you guys, first, how do you define love?
If I may,
Yeah, sure.
while you guys are on the luck, whether luck has anything to do with finding love.
Mm.
Look, I always say I'm lucky to have found for
Wow.
So in my view, I think luck has to do with finding love to some
Okay.
extent. Yes,
Okay.
it is about being brave. It is about putting yourself out there. It is about taking a chance, but also it has to be because I think the luck comes with the kind of person that you actually find versus the finding love altogether.
Got you.
So
Makes
it
sense.
makes sense if the person that you found makes sense to you. I'm
Mm,
lucky to find someone that makes sense to me.
I like that.
So so that's what I wanted to share.
Hey, a few
And you were
minutes,
saying,
and already we are
eh,
learning. My God.
so your question was, how did we find love?
Yes. How do you define it?
Uh, or how I define love.
Yes. How do you define it?
I don't know if I have actually a definition or have thought about defining love or how I define love. It's whatever answer I will give it would probably something that I'm thinking of now.
Yeah.
Um,
You know, like, and I think there is a definition, eh? But also, I personally, I like definitions, right? And the reason why I like definitions is I need to know what I'm doing here, right? And I need to know that what you expect as love is what I'm doing, ne? And it has to be defined. Like, okay, love is patience, love is kind, all those things. Okay, I have to be patient, I have to be kind, I have to be this. Then I know that I'm actually, you know, I'm doing the right thing. Otherwise, I could be nonchalant, unavailable, and then whenever I am available, I'm like, I love you. But and if you say to me, no, but you can't say you love me, okay, but define it to me. What is it so I can do that? That makes any sense.
yeah,
Lisha, also, I think I define love the way you've just said. Love is kind, love is, but I've noticed with my experiences that I have to be kind to myself. I have to be kind first before going and looking for whatever in another person.
Come on.
So it really helps because
Yeah.
sometimes we go out looking for things, you go to someone for them to complete you while you're still struggling with something. So if you find peace
Mhm.
within yourself, it will be easy for you to be someone else's peace.
I love
So
that. I love
yeah.
that. I love that. You know,
yeah.
yeah, Polani?
No, I was going to say, so I was going to continue from that defining love. So I guess thinking about it now for me, I would
Mm,
say it's a it's the ability, my ability as an individual, and this is not a generalized definition. It's
okay.
just what I think right now to say it's my ability to put myself out there and be willing to be vulnerable with the person that I choose
Mm,
to open up to.
mm-hmm.
And then there are things obviously, or yeah, things that I specifically look for in that kind of union that we have to say,
Mm,
um, is this person kind? Is this person respectful? Respect for me is everything.
yes.
It's a deal breaker. In
Yes.
fact, if there's no respect, we can't do anything. Because for me, kind and respectful, you can't do anything that everything that you do, it comes
Mm,
from respect. It comes from being
yeah.
kind. Therefore, as much we could be fighting, but
Mm,
if we're fighting in a respectful way, in a kind way, for me, that is how I would define the kind of relationship that I want or the kind of love that I want.
mm. See, another thing about love is that it's always in favor of, right? So, and I think that's why at work they say they don't want us to date because whether you know it or you don't, you will always be in favor of the person that you love, right? And so, just adding to your point that when you and I are fighting, for example, I will always, if I love you, I will always fight in favor of us being together even after the fight, right? I'm not going to say things that will make us to break up or for us to, to not be able to get to a point where we are peaceful with each other again, you know? So it's always like, yes, just like you right now, but I'm not gonna say that or act that out. But what love will do is it will make me act out in favor of us being together, in favor of your mental well-being, in favor of your emotional well-being, right? And I suppose that's why they say that, what do they say? Love is blind, you know? Yeah, I think that's why they say that love is blind because it's like, but I'm not going to say that. I'll overlook it. Let's fix this thing
Yeah.
of you doing A, B, and C, right? But when you're out of love, you sit down, you're just like, no, but you can go enjoy Laga, but as you know, it's only afterwards that you realize that. Okay, so when was the first time you lost love and how did it feel? Like, how did you go through the emotions and what did it do to you mentally? And also, how did you know that you've lost love? Because sometimes we lose people and we're just like, yeah, I haven't spoken to them in like 2 years and it's okay. And then sometimes you lose people, you just like, oh, okay. And then there's this person that you lose, and it's like, I once had a panic attack after 1 week of a breakup, guys. I had a panic attack, woke up in the morning and I was. So I think at that point, that's how I knew that I lost love. How did you guys know? How did you know? And when did you lose your first love? Klingiwe, you can start.
Oh, okay. For me, I would say the person I'm with right now, I would say definitely my first love because we met years ago, years, I was so young. But because situation, then I changed places, so I had to stay in another place, and then he just continued. But I've always known in my heart of heart that that person, is my person. And then we just met other people and just continued with our lives, and we met again, luckily. So yeah.
Wow.
Probably a soulmate.
Hey,
I'm not to think so.
Yeah, I
that
mean,
sounds sure. That sounds lovely. Hey, like no, this is my
yeah.
person. You can go and live your life, but you and I one day. I don't know when, but one day. I love that. I love that. Okay, okay. And then so when he went and lived his life, did you feel like you lost him or?
I did feel like I lost him because when I was staying in a different area, I used to ask my brother. My brother was closer to him then. I used to ask, "How's so and so? How's everything with him?" So I usually kept tabs on him like that. Yeah, but I just wanted him to do good because I also had my life. I just want to find out what he is, how's everything with him. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Interesting. I was going to ask Uguti, so in that time when he was living his life, were you also living your life, even in the
I was,
love
yeah.
space where you meet? Did you have someone at the time? Okay.
I did have someone at that time, but eventually I just thought maybe it was me young, so eventually it just went away because I noticed that he had moved on with his life. So for me to maybe track him down or talk to him like that, it wouldn't be respectful to my partner at that time and his. So we just went on with that. I mean, after that, after I moved, we didn't speak. I was just, finding out, how so and so, is he okay?
Yeah.
And then I wasn't speaking. then. Yeah.
Wow. Hey, some people have beautiful love stories, guys. Okay. All right, Pralani, what about you?
So so I think earlier I spoke about respect and being kind and all of those things. And the things, so when I knew that I had lost love is when I found out that the person I loved at the time,
Mm,
when did something that
yeah,
we knew it was disrespect, it
yeah,
was not being kind towards not just me as an individual, but to us and what we were trying to do, right?
yeah.
So when I found out, what that. Also, another thing with me, I don't know, I think it's probably a bad thing on my end. I easily like accept and check out. So to say, okay, this happened. I know for sure that I don't want to go back to a space, or I'm not trying to fix anything at this point.
Okay.
So at this point, it is what it is. I probably don't even, I don't even need a justification as to what happened. Why did you do what you did? Because in
Mm,
my view, or in my head,
mm,
when for you to even, because there was a process that one had to be in before they could
mm.
actually do the act of what they did.
Right.
But for me, it's almost like all the way until you actually go to the act, you must have been thinking about what you were doing, and you must have thought about what this would do to us
Mm,
and to me. So at the time when I found out, and these are all the things that are going on in my head, right? I overthink things also, which is also not a good thing on my part. But I overthink things. These are things that I say to myself in my head. I'm like, I don't think it. So at the time, I was like, I don't think that I want to go back there, because I don't think things will ever be the
mm.
same.
Makes
Um,
sense.
so at the time, I mean, I don't want to lie, it was hurtful.
Mm,
What that person did. But you know what? We heal and move on, and try not Kali, but when you are alone in the room, you're not gonna go out and tell people that I was crying. But yeah, things happen, so it is what it is, and then that's how it ended. That's how I ended
okay.
a different person.
Oh, okay. And then from the love that you guys lost, ne? Like I know with you, Hlenyo, it's a bit different, but in the time where you felt like you lost him and the person that you first lost, Polani, did you guys ever feel like you'll ever find love again? Or was it just it is what it is, we'll see as time goes by, or I'm never doing this thing again. Like how did it affect you basically, like losing that love? And I'm not sure whether maybe you guys were at a point where I love this person so much that I want to be with this person forever. And then perhaps for you, Hlenyo, it would be this is my person. And maybe did you ever think that could have done something, I should have done something, for us to be together rather than him living his life and you living your life and then coming back together? Like how did the distance or the breakup affect you in terms of now going
Um,
into your next, yeah, go for it.
um, to be honest with you, I think we were young then, we knew each other, but we were young.
Mm,
And to be honest, I don't think if we had continued at that time, we would be together right now because we were young. I think the experiences we encountered, they shaped us to be different people. We are mature now,
wow,
we are
yeah.
we are different people. So
Mm,
yeah, as I'm saying, I was younger then. It did hurt to say, oh, and especially to hear that he has moved on and he was now living his life. Those things used to sting a bit. But I just told myself to say, okay, maybe he wasn't, yeah, that way, yeah.
Okay. And then Polan, what about you? Did you ever think do you think that you'd actually find him again, or you maybe had hopes that you will find someone that you will love the way that you love him and love you back the same way?
So
I didn't think I would find him again. Sorry, Polan. I didn't think that I would find him again. Because as I said, I respected that he has moved on, and also I was also now in another space. So I had to, that's where you think you're like, no man, let me just be realistic. These things
Yeah,
they happen maybe in movies or all those places. So it's something that
yeah,
would never happen to me.
yeah.
But the only thing I just wanted was to see him and, find out if he's okay and just to see him, talk to him, have a
Well,
conversation. I never thought that we would um get back together.
okay. Okay, Polani, you?
so for me, I think firstly, I knew that we were not gonna be back together.
Okay.
But I think also, I mean, for me, it does hurt, and at the time when you are actually experiencing the heartbreak, there's a lot that goes in through your mind to
Yeah,
say, you know, what is it that this person didn't have enough of, and will
right.
I then be able to provide that to the next person if that's possibly what the other person would want as well?
Yeah,
Which I
yeah.
don't know what it is, because then, the conversation didn't get to saying, why did you do what you did? What wasn't, what were you not getting from us that you thought
Mm,
you wanted to get from elsewhere?
mm,
And it does knock confidence in
yes.
saying, am I going to find someone? Will I be able to maintain the other one, or will I be hopping from one relationship to the next?
Mm,
Um, you know, because now I'm sitting here thinking, what happened? I
mm,
thought we were good, but clearly we were not.
mm.
So it definitely, I did have those thoughts around, will I find somebody else
Yeah,
that will work?
yeah.
And what kind of relationship do I want with the next person? How do I even tell them, to say, this is the kind of relationship I want, or this is the kind of love I want.
Mm,
And I was in a relationship with someone who did 1, 2, 3, and 4. I hope you don't do it.
mm,
Anything, you even think of those silly things. You're probably not going to have that kind of conversation with your person, but
mm,
because now you are in the moment of hurt,
mm,
that those are the things that go through in the mind. For me, it was like, you know okay, I know I will find love, but
mm.
will it be the way that I need it? Will I be able to give the person the things that will make them stay with me
Yes.
and want to, be with me um, for long term?
Yeah.
So those were some of the things. And, well, time heals,
Does it
as they
really?
say.
Does it?
I don't know. Time heals, or you learn to live with the things. I don't know, but something did help as time went.
Something happened as time went by.
Can I ask you a question, Polani? How has that experience affected your current relationship? Has it affected it in any way?
It so it does, because it's an experience that I carry with. Well, I not carry with
Uh,
me, but it's an experience that I am aware of, that something like that can happen.
mhm.
In my relationship right now, I'm very big on communication. To
Mm,
say, if you're not, and things can be resolved if we communicate about them. Because sometimes you do something and you are not aware that you did something. So even if it's little things, to say, let me know what's happening. If you don't talk, I won't be able to fix whatever needs fixing. But also if they're doing something that you don't like, and I won't be able to fix it. So for me, communication is one of the biggest things, especially because right now my relationship is tense. So what I have is communication more than anything. If we don't, because if we were not on a call, then I don't get to see the person or speak to the person. So that's our relationship going in this current situation that we are in.
I don't know. I think I've loved people, but I've never really been in love, right? And I'm just thinking about what you guys are saying, that perhaps I've never been in love because I don't know what that's like, right? Because now what Klingiwe said was when we were younger, we probably wouldn't have made it this far. But now that we are mature, we are good for each other, And I'm thinking, as you guys are talking, I'm just thinking if maybe my relationships also didn't work out because I was younger, right? I may not have, the privilege of meeting the same people that, like Klengiwe, and I'm okay with that. They must move. I need new people, right? But but I'm just thinking right now that I don't think I've been, and being self-aware, I know for sure that when I do get into a relationship, I don't give my all, right? And I remember in varsity, I dated this guy, and um, eh, obviously I was young at that time and I was a bit naive, right? So I just thought love is great. Love is good. It's just wonderful, So as soon as he did something that wasn't that, in my mind, I concluded that, okay, no, he doesn't love me, right? And I remember he said to me, he was like, look, I'm going to ask you to leave room for disappointment. Ne? And I think he was saying that because one, my mind was, if it's love, it has to be this way. Okay. And then number two, he was short tempered. So I think he knew because he was short tempered, he's bound to do things that are going to lead to my disappointment. And he needs me to give him that space. Right. But at that time, I just couldn't understand. Like, what you mean you are sleeping when I called you? You must always be available. You are disappointing me, And that's what I thought, right? And I remember when we broke up about 2 years later, I bumped into a friend of his, like a best friend, and we're just talking about things, right? And then I said to him, I said, you know what, now that I've grown a bit, I realized that I was a bit unfair to that guy, And the unfairness was really coming from a sense of emotional immaturity and just mental immaturity, right? And and I learned that, okay, it's not that when you leave room for disappointment, you are saying that this love is not enough. It's just you're a human being, you are flawed. And whether you like it or you don't, you are going to offend the people that you love, right? So let me ask you guys this question. What have you guys learned from the love that you've lost that is now that you are applying now in your relationships and it's absolutely working out? Like, if it wasn't for the love that you lost, you probably would not have known that this part here is big. I know, Polani, you mentioned communication, right? That's like everybody wants communication, but what's that one thing when you sit down and you just like flip? For me, it's constant forgiveness, right? Like constant forgiveness, because sometimes my own son offends me, and I have to forgive, I have to let go, right? Sometimes a person just breathing offends you, right? And you just always have to have that heart of forgiveness. For me, that's
I hope that no one is offended by my breathing.
Well, it's not
I
it's not
hope.
necessarily like the breathing, but sometimes you just want your own space, right? But because you are in a relationship, it's not an easy thing for you to have, right? So today you just don't want to talk to anyone, you just want to be by yourself, and your person says, "Hey, I'm coming over." You can't say no, please don't. You okay, okay, you know what I mean? So, what have you guys learned that is working for you now? Like it's like gold.
If I look, I'm gonna go back to communication, and I know that you said, everybody wants communication, and for me, that's the very thing that we all think communication is. I
Okay.
don't know, serious conversations all the time, or if I'm going to the, it's literally saying, I'm not happy today. I'm not in
Okay.
a space to talk to you on the phone.
Yeah.
And can we chat rather on WhatsApp? For me, that's communication, right? On the other side, I'm thinking, what is wrong with this person? You were
Mm,
fine in the morning. Right now, you are in a different mood. What's happening?
yeah.
Then in my head, I start building things that are not there. Whereas you are in your periods. That's what
Right.
happens when you're in your periods. You just don't want to
Yes.
talk. And for me
Yes.
to know that you are in your periods, you let me know that you are in your periods and you don't, for me, that's the very basic of saying,
Mm,
I'm not in a good space today.
okay.
Can we maybe talk later? That for me, that works.
Okay. So
Yeah.
basically, don't allow me to fill in the blanks. Just give me the full
I'm not
story.
great at that also. That's probably another thing I'm aware that I'm not good with.
Okay.
Um, if we get on a call and you start keeping quiet,
Mm,
now I can't go think, oh, now I must count. Is that time of the month? Is everybody fine at home?
I just like,
Uh, in my head now, I'm trying to think, what
yeah.
could be the reason that this person is quiet now?
Mm,
Okay. So maybe there's no reason for us to do that. And I'm happy for you to say, I'm just not ready to talk. You don't even want to tell me that you're in your periods at the moment. You
right.
just say, I'm not in a good space to talk. Can we speak maybe some other time? Fine. Instead
Fine.
of now being in a position where now I need to doubt, and that goes both ways, right? Now
Mm,
you have to now start doubting yourself. What have I done now?
I love
Um,
that. Eh?
now you start
Mm,
asking, now you are WhatsApping a sister on the side. What did she say I have done now? She's
mm,
not talking to me, you know.
mm,
So that's for me, communication is talking. Maybe if you use communication, it almost sounds like this big thing that you need to whatever. Just talking. Talk to me.
Kulum,
What's
kulum.
going on?
Yeah.
You
Got
know.
you. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
also have to agree with Lani. But also, I have learned also the manner of communicating things.
Yes.
Um, a way of saying respectfully. When we got back together, coming from the places, I was very defensive. The person, when you
Right.
tell me something, it was going to be, something we have to fight about. And then
Mm,
I'll see days later, I'll be like, no, but the things he was saying, it's true. And then now I have to
mm,
go back. Oh, I'm so sorry about the way. So now I have learned. Now when there's maybe a misunderstanding or something, I choose to keep quiet a little bit because I know at that time the things I'm going to say are not going to be kind. So let
yeah.
me keep quiet,
Ooh, come
you
on.
know, shut down a little bit, and then maybe later on, then we can talk about it in a respectful manner.
Yeah. You know, you're reminding me of this guy I dated, ne? The same guy that I had a panic attack. Hey, we've been through things, guys. Every time every time I raised up an issue, he would be defensive, ne? And I think I noticed it about two or three times. And then on the fourth time, I said to him, I'm not saying you are the problem. I'm saying there is a problem, right? And then that's when it clicked like, oh, oh, okay. Yeah, actually, there is a problem, right? So, and it's not like I wish I could tell you that on the fourth time when I told him that, no, there is a problem, the next time we had an argument, he wasn't defensive. He was still defensive, right? So, hey, we need to talk about this. I no, but okay, hey, hold on. I didn't say you. I said we have a problem. I said something needs to be addressed. I didn't say you are the problem, right? And then he started getting a hang of it that, oh, okay, we are talking to resolve the issue. We are not, it's not a blame game, right? But I think when you are very intentional about loving a person, you notice those things, right? You notice those things that, okay, this one is defensive. Okay. Because it wasn't just a defensive of, I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to be in a wrong. It was a defensive of, I'm always being blamed for something and I'm tired. I need to stand up for myself type of defense, right?
That's it.
So I always had to tell him that I'm not fighting you. I'm telling you that there is a problem. You are not the problem, but we do have a problem, right? Then there was now a shift of mind that, oh, okay, you are not blaming me. You are just saying that we need to do A, B, and C together to solve this issue, right? And to be honest with you, hey, I learned patience in that relationship. I always thought I was patient. I learned patience after that. Like we will always say these things, love is kind, love is patient, up until you need to be patient. That's when you know that's not no ngimthandile ke lo bhuti lo, ngimthandile as I am actually exercising patience willingly, you know. Thank you. I think you wanted to
So
say
actually,
something.
it's us against the problem. It's
Say that
it's
again.
it's it's us. I'm saying it's us against the problem. It's not that you have a
Yes.
problem, but we have a problem that we have to sort out. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even if he is the problem, right? Imagine someone coming and telling you you are the problem, right? But the way I viewed it is because we are in a relationship, if it's a problem, if you are the problem, that it means it's our problem now, right?
Yeah.
So we will isolate the person and just put the problem where everyone can see that, okay, when such things happen, you tend to react this way, right? When you react this way,
Yeah.
do you see how it puts a strain on the relationship? Okay, we start arguing, we start this, but honestly, if you just look at this situation and then you speak from your mind, and even if you don't have to talk at that point, it's still fine. But it's just for us not to put strain on the relationship, then it gives a bit of a different point of view. And I remember he also did tell me that I'm a bit impatient. I remember he was just like, listen, I'm going to need you to be patient with me. And that's one thing I really, really had little of, just small, right? And I think we all can like pride ourselves. Hey,
I'm saying in relationships, you have to have a lot
yeah,
of
a
patience.
lot, right? And I think we tend to pride ourselves in all the other areas where we are strong. And then when your partner comes in and says, in this area where I really need you to come through, you're not coming through as much. And this, I'm getting to this point that when you truly are in love with someone and you truly care about someone, parts of you are going to die, right? Whether you love the right person or you love the wrong person, if you have fully given yourself to love a person, if you love the wrong person, bits of you are gonna die, right? Maybe your joy is gonna die, your happiness, your spark will die. But if you are loving the right person, parts of you are going to die. Your pride will die, your arrogance will die, your all the bad habits will die, right? And so for me, that's what I've noticed. The people who are in love, they tend to change, whether for the best or for the worst, depending on whether you're with the right person or not. But they tend to change. Okay. Okay. Just moving on from the past love. How did you guys navigate to finding love again? You know, were you actively looking? Were you intentional about it? And when you found it, like, what is it that you decided, you know what, I'm going to do things differently? Or maybe you didn't decide. The love that you had for that person just made you want to do the right things. Polani, how did you navigate through it? Did it take a while? Did you jump in after 2 weeks? Like, what happened?
So for me, so when we're talking about how did we, because I believe there's two ways.
Right.
Just because I'm not in a committed relationship doesn't mean I don't have people that I am.
What? That's such a guy thing. What the heck are you saying?
Sorry.
Anyway,
So
if you understand it, please level with me. I don't get it.
anyway,
Um,
so you you can continue thinking where I'll come in after.
no, maybe he's saying like he's talking to people. We are just talking, just I think that's how I understood statement.
We're sussing things
Yeah,
out to see if
yeah,
we can
because
go into a relationship
Yeah.
or not. Okay.
so yeah, and so 100%. Well, maybe, but they are people that there are people that I would speak to that I knew there was not going to be any long-term commitment thing, right? And
Okay.
then there are people where you're like, okay, this one I know that, if we can fix 1, 2, 3, and 4, there
Mm.
is something that might happen, right? But to answer your question, it took me a bit of time, but
Mm.
also for me, I've never tried to put myself under pressure to finding love.
Right.
So when especially, the long-term committed, the person that I actually think, is the person I want to spend my time and
Mm.
a forever, possibly. So it for me, I never put myself under pressure to say, I need to find someone, I need to find someone,
Yeah.
every time I go to church, I'm
Yeah.
here
Checking
looking
out.
to see that can
Yeah.
I find is there someone? I'm gonna chat to people,
Okay.
depends how we connect with the people, then we take it from there. So for me, I never put myself under pressure, but I also wasn't not aware that that's something that I'm open to.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if that makes sense. I was aware that that's something I'm open to. I plan
Mm.
to have in the future. It will happen in the right time with the right person. Just
Mm-hmm.
be patient with myself and, the trust the process. Someone was asking if the process knows that we're trusting on it. But, we just trust that, things will fall into place.
Mm.
I know that I'm not a bad person or doing bad things to people or whatever the case may be. For
Mm.
sure, I will find someone that we will connect with, and
Love it.
with the good intentions, things
Yeah.
will move to the next step naturally, not forcing
I love that.
things. So eventually met someone, we started speaking.
Mm.
Obviously, they also share what their intentions are, whether they're here to only just have a joy and keep it
Yeah.
moving, or they want to be here for a long time. Obviously, as we get to know each other, and then everyone starts, you can change your mind in conversations with people to say, actually,
Mm.
I may have started thinking, it's just a, but
Mm.
then as I'm speaking to someone, I then realize that actually I enjoy this individual. I enjoy our conversations. We sort of are on the same wavelength when it comes to what the future looks like.
Love it.
So we are here trying to make it work.
So you didn't find that you gravitated towards it and it gravitated towards you.
You can put it that way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Khenyo, what about you?
I also wasn't actively looking. It just happened, It just happened that one day I was out with my cousins and then there he was. We just started talking,
Mm.
But because he was also coming from a serious relationship, we just took it slowly. We just
Mm.
talked. We were just talking, how are you? All those things. So
Yeah.
I can say that he was also not looking, We didn't think that we would have a serious relationship like we are having right now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
from it wasn't. It just happened. We took things gradually, slowly, and then yeah.
Okay. So, kahle kahle, do not look. That's how you find it. That's the common theme here. Do not look.
But the thing is, the danger with also, how do I, okay, maybe the danger with going like I'm looking for love,
Yeah.
you will find people that will give you the bare minimum and you think, hey, it's I'm going in, only to be in there and it's not what you wanted. It's not what you, so you don't want to also be in a position where I'm looking, because whatever comes your way, you will take that as love, and then you will find yourself being hurt and being, I mean, relationship can have such a big influence on your life, mental health,
That's true.
physical health. So you don't want to just go in because you think I'm a human being, I have needs, I need to be in a relationship or whatever. No, just take your time, be aware that you're looking. Well, I'm gonna now, be aware that you're looking,
Yeah.
but also, and I think it also helps going back to the learnings from the past relationships, to say, because in every relationship you sort of can tell, okay, I don't enjoy this, I you get into another relationship, you already have that in your mind to say, okay, these are the things I enjoyed at the time. This person does them. Maybe they're not even doing those things to begin with, but there are new things that they are doing that you're like, oh, I didn't know it could be like this, and I
Yeah.
like that. Then you start. So it's just being open-minded. That you want to be in a relationship, but also the other individual may be different or thinks differently, but also you are aware that from the past, these are the things that at least I know I didn't enjoy,
Yeah.
and from sort of what you might want to have in mind as you are
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
search it.
Yeah. And do you guys have any fears? Like when it comes to Klingiwe, yes, you were saying something?
I would add on what Paula is saying. Also, with that, you must know what you want. Just know yourself, and don't just take anything that anyone says. Oh, because you want to be in a relationship, then it'll really mess things up for you. You'll be maybe in a mental hospital. If you do that, because you are everyone to come in. And you're allowing everything. So just be cautious of that.
Mm, Yeah, 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 I get that. I get that. I think I don't know whether it's desperation or something like that, but I really think there's something that you said, Klingiwe, that when you know yourself and you have peace within yourself, then it's easy for you to find peace within others. I think that's the best way to go, hey? Yeah, I think sometimes we look for things in other people that we don't have, right? It's like, yeah, I want you to be, I want a person who is good at conflict handling. But when it's time for conflict handling, the insults that you throw. So kahle kahle, you want someone who's going to manage your disrespect,
Mm.
basically,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, just last question before we close it off, right? Do you guys have any fears in love? Like, thing where you have your person, I love this person. Polane, you saying I love my girlfriend. Because I love my girlfriend, it has come with these kind of fears. If I didn't have this person, or if I didn't have the love, I wouldn't have these fears. Do you guys have any fears? Or what do you fear the most? I know Gumnand. Yes, Gumnand.
No. I think one thing I can say is, for me, it is fear of maybe disappointing or not being enough for my person, or not providing. I guess as a guy, it's a thing that you wanna be able to provide, and then be able to not only money, because that's what the world wants from men, but you know, you want to provide emotionally stability, mental stability, all of those things. The moment so for me, it's always to say, that's why I always say communication is the best thing, because the moment I am not doing or contributing positively towards that individual, which is then I'm failing. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do in love, and probably the love won't even survive. So for me, it's the fear of just not doing enough, maybe not being the support structure that maybe it also comes with being people pleaser, maybe sometimes, but you know, just not being enough, or not needed, or not, you know, all of those things. For me, that's where I sometimes feel like if you ask for money or whatever, you ask for time, and for example, I'm stuck at work for whatever reason, I can't be on a call. In my head, I'm thinking, I've heard relationships falling apart because one person doesn't have time for the other. I don't want that. You know, I don't want it to be a thing for us. So yeah, those kind of things.
That's really nice coming from a guy, hey? It's really nice. Tenga, what about you? Do you have any fears?
The fears I have, it's things I don't have control over. But I would think maybe in losing him, because I think our lives are centered around each other. So I don't know how I would continue, but I don't know how. I don't know. I would, but I don't know how. You know.
Lisa, your face is saying, don't, you are judging.
No,
I don't mean,
I'm sorry.
I don't mean losing him as in him maybe going to someone else. No, I don't mean it like that. Yeah, I don't mean it like that.
No, I love it. I wish I had a different facial expression, like, guys, so. That's what my facial expression was.
Right?
Yeah?
It sounds, sometimes that's the thing. I don't want to sometimes talk about these things, because I mean, people look at you like, is this one okay? You know, but it's how I feel. How I feel. It's how I feel about it.
I really think that you guys need to speak up more, right? Because when it comes to such things, we always hear the negatives. Men are trash. Women are not to be trusted. But when you guys speak like this, the reason why my facial expression is like this is, why are you all quiet? Because we always hearing negativity, and you guys are speaking so well about your relationships, and you'll even look comfortable to be in relationships with the people that you are with, you know. And if I keep hearing maybe the bad things all the time, I'm gonna go into a relationship with that mentality of this one is gonna be like whoever and whoever. But if I keep hearing the things which is not okay, right? But if I keep hearing the things that you guys are talking about, I'm gonna have that expectation that you guys are planting within me. You get what I mean? So for me, it's like, hey, why are you all quiet? But anyway.
Like, there are good people. There are good people, and for me, I like to speak about the positives, because all the time we men are put in a bad light. Yes, there are people who do bad things, but not everyone. As I'm saying, that maybe when he was younger, there are things he was doing, but now he's grown, he's becoming a better person. So the things that he is doing that are good, we must, you know, encourage that. Okay, doing good here, we are doing good there. As much as women also, we also need that to say, no, you're doing good there, we are doing good there.
Yeah, no, Yazin, that's a learning point over there. I think it's a learning point for most women, what you just said right now, that when he was younger, he probably made some mistakes, but now he has corrected those mistakes. He doesn't do those things anymore, you know? And maybe we are not so forgiving, right? Which is why we say men are trash, but we can't really call him trash when now he's treating you the way that he's treating you, and the only thing that you have to say are good things. You get what I mean? Wow. Wow. Anyway, what's the best thing about love? As we are closing off, what's the best thing about having lost love and found it? What's the best? What do you love about love the most? When you say, hey, I'm telling you, you must come to the ship. It is what it is, you know? Like, well, what is it? Well, what is it that you guys enjoy the most and love the most?
I think for me is just having someone to do this life thing. Life is very difficult, to be
Yeah,
honest. Just coming home to someone who is just your peace, you know, you
yeah,
can share everything, anything with them, and then they'll just comfort you. Sometimes they might not have help at that time, but they'll just tell you, you know, things are going to be okay. Not to say we don't have maybe family members, but having someone
yeah,
like that, it's different. It's quite
yeah,
different.
yeah. Having
Yeah.
someone to be emotionally intimate with, where you're
Yeah.
gonna say, hey, Yazin, I'm angry. And you don't have to over explain, they just get it.
Mm.
Mm,
And I 100% agree. I
yeah,
agree with, I mean, it's having someone that after a long day of work, you just wanna, which sometimes cannot be, it not be fair because they may have their own issues. But
mm,
you come from work, it's been a long day, you are like, or maybe you were mad at work. You
mm,
just come here with this person, and then
mm.
they may judge you, but you know they're judging you from a good place.
Yes.
You know,
Wow.
so for me, it's and not to know that someone cares, man. You know, like they
Mm.
care. Like someone is when they ask you how you doing, it's not how you doing good. You
Mm,
go on your way. Like they mean what how you doing. They want to hear. They have interest in knowing what is it that is happening in your life right now. How can I help make it better? So
mm,
for me, I think that's the best part.
mm.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So do find love,
That's
as
this.
you know.
Uh-huh.
Don't be desperate for it, but uh be open-minded to it.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you guys have blessed me today. You guys have blessed me today. Shucks, I needed to hear all the things that you guys are saying. And now it's making me think, "Ukuthi kanti bengicabangan all along, kanti what's your problem, girl? What's your problem?" Right? It's like the way you guys are speaking, like there's just the simplicity of talking to someone after a long days of work, and they're gonna judge you, but you know where it's coming from, and you still feel safe even when they are judging you. Man, thank you so much, guys, for making time to be part of this chat. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to like learn from it. Honestly, I've learned quite a bit, especially those of us who have like this negative mindset and who have seen relationships not work out, and who have been surrounded by so many divorces here and there. But to hear people like you guys speaking the way that you do, it's going to motivate us to say, you know what, maybe it's not so bad out there. And also maybe I need to check myself also. If I want someone who's going to be my peace, how can I be someone else's peace? I really love that. And I really love how Polani, you were saying that I want to provide, but not just money. I want to be able to provide for you in every way, right? And I feel like most men, when it comes to provision, they just only think of money, and then they starve you everywhere else, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. They starve you in all these areas. But you are saying, I actually want to provide for you in all those ways. And it scares me that I might fall short, you know? I think that's absolutely lovely. Guys, thank you so much. And thank you so much to each and every one of you that are watching right now. Next month, we have another topic. I forgot what the topic is, but we'll see next month when it comes through. All right, guys, thank you so much. Hey.